Hi there, guys. I got something a little bit different for you today. As you know, I make custom championship belts, but you'll see on my shoulder is the UFC championship belt. It was my attempt to make a perfect replica as per doing research, looking at pictures, and recreating it as best I could. And I really hope you like it. I really hope that you enjoy this video as I go through all of its little details. Hi there, guys. As you can see, this is the UFC Championship belt, and it was my creation, my attempt to recreate an actual factual belt perfectly. And so we're gonna go over this belt and go over my thoughts as I did it. So here we have the belt laid out, and you can see the main plate. One of the things you might see is that there's not quite silver back here. And what this is reflective vinyl. And so it does reflect the light. In the dark, shining a flashlight will immediately light it up as like bright white. Here I have reflective mirror gold vinyl is what it's called. And so it stands out as the UFC logo. And then I have written here, Ultimate Fighting Championship. In a gold, and so I did that with gold foil, and as well as the reflective on that. One of the things that I changed because I knew that it would be very, very hard to do, so I just left it off, was a gold outline here. There's supposed to be a gold outline here, and I left it out. Another thing that I changed was this chain link fence. You'll notice that it's straight blockages, and so I left it as straight as opposed to twisting chain link fence. That is the way it is supposed to be. As we come up here, these diamonds are on the actual UFC belt, and so this was the last thing that went on. I actually forgot, and then I added them as a last finishing touch. You have these diamonds as well as you come along here. The what you'll notice on the original UFC belt is that there's kind of a stud placement and then the diamond on the inside, and so that's what this is. And then you have the intricate design of the gold leafing. And the original UFC belt has roses. It was one of the things I found really interesting as I started to look into this belt and research. These are roses. And so I just got some really nice gold leaf decals, and they have nice flowering and leaves and whatnot, but they don't have the actual roses. But that is the look that I wanted. As we come over, you see the UFC belt, the side plate for the UFC belt, and we have mirror gold vinyl as well, and then we have the gold here, and then the leaves, and then the diamonds. You'll notice that I also put in some gold studs as well. Gold studs are here as well. As we come along, you'll notice that there is some sewing. This is 2 layers. So you got 2 layers here, and then 1 layer here, and then 2 layers for the overall belt as it goes along. There it is there. That was by design. That was the 2 layers, again, inspired by the original UFC design. The whole point of this belt was to copy the UFC belt as closely as I possibly could. This was really meant to be a custom belt. This was meant to be a copy. If someone asked me to copy the WWE belt, or copy a AEW belt, or copy a UFC belt, I could do it, and so that was the goal. One of the things I noticed as I was putting this together, these are lines. They're not solid blocks of gold. They're actually lines. Knowing that I probably couldn't do that, I left them solid blocks. A lot of my belts, the purpose of a lot of this is to be impressive from a distance, so you can't really tell. One of the things that, again, you'll notice on a UFC belt is that they're supposed to be championed down here. I felt that I was too small, so I left it out. As we come along, we have the snap box. I added an inch to the entire length of the belt. And because of that, I added an extra snap box, sorry, an extra 2 snaps to this side and an extra snap to that side, making it just a little bit longer. It's supposed to be 49. It's actually 51, so an inch here, an inch over there as well. As we come back along, we can see the belt, and we can see that the belt actually kind of fits not so snugly. It is not glued in. You'll see the snaps in the back when we flip it over, but it is loose for that loose feel as well. So this plate is the same as the other plate, and it comes around, and then you have the solid gold, and then no champion here, and then you have the extra one here, and that was designed into it. This one here was measured to be a little bit smaller than this one, so that this would fit in. And yet again, you have the chain link in the back, and then the mirror gold vinyl on top of it, and it stands by itself. And you see the 2 layers of the vinyl. Usually on most of my belts, I use banner material from like a print shop. This is actual vinyl. It's got the fabric in the back and a leather feel on the top. You'll notice this here as well. This was me experimenting. This is the end cap. It's very blocky. I'm not very happy with it. If I had the choice to remove it, I would. I don't. It's glued in. They're permanently now. So it does have a nice feel to it. It's not very heavy, and it moves quite well, even amongst being 2 layers. So here we have, and you can see the snaps in the back. If you've ever seen wrestling belts like the WWE belt, or possibly one of the things I noticed on the big gold belt of the WCW is that there were these big old black snaps in the back. And my guess is that when they overlay the leather, they screw it in, and they put another layer of leather in there, and so that's where it comes through. With this, it was screwed in. As I come in a little closer, you can see the actual screw heads, and so I can take this off if I want. Probably not at this point. They're pretty solidly in there, but they are meant to stand out and to be like that. This is the little guy here. He's held on by 2. And it is covered up by the mirror gold. There it is, the stud there, and then there's a stud there. As we go along, here's the snap box. Here's the other side, and as you can see, this is me covering up the gold and the gold pen and whatnot. So here we have 6 snaps here. It's supposed to be 5. I added 1 more. As we come along, you can see that there's 4. There's 2 and 2. As I come over here, they're right there. The diamonds are glued right on top. And as you can see, I've got 1, 2 on this side, 1, 2 on this side, and then 1 right at the top, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, but none down at the bottom. So it fits pretty loosely, but it stays in there pretty well as well. And it's not tight. You can see there's some wrinkles that comes from, usage and whatnot. And here we have the other side with, the sewing. You can see the sewing here. You can see the sewing here. And as we come along, we have the other snap box, the back of the snaps. Often that there is a layer of leather along here, so you don't see these. I have not started doing that. I have plans with other belts to cover it up, but for now, I will be showing them, which does fit with the fact that you can see all these. This is the UFC Replica belt. It is my Replica belt. It looks great. You can't tell from a distance. As you come in a little closer, you do see all the flaws, but it is how I make my belts. So guys, I hope you like that. I hope you keep on watching and see my other content. Hi there guys. As you can see, I am wearing the UFC Championship belt. It snaps at the back as everything else. It curves around my stomach quite nicely. It was something that I added and tested. But if you like this video and got a lot out of it as to what I do, please like, share, and subscribe. See you guys later.